Nick James from Channel 6, and I'm here in the nick of time to bring you the latest news. We have quite the controversy out here at the federal court. The Baltimore branch of the United States Bank refuses to pay the tax that the state of Maryland requires all banks not chartered within the state to pay. How can I help you?
Get out of here. You come down here.
Bossy.
No. How are you doing today, sir? I'm doing well. How about you?
Doing pretty fine myself. How can I help?
Well, I'm here on behalf of the Maryland State Government. I will collect taxes on all unchartered banks, even that of the federal government. Here's my warrant.
I don't think so, mister. No.
What? Yeah, you said you could talk.
We, the national government, have power and control over weak state governments like that of yours. If anything, we should be the one taxing you.
That's blasphemous. You owe us money and you will give it to us. This Maryland state government can tax anything within its state border. So I suggest you give it to me real fast.
Nope. No.
Yeah.
No. The only thing you're getting is a whole lot of bruises if you don't get out of here, mister.
Well, I'm taking this money and getting out of here.
Go!
I'll settle this in court.
We'll see what happens.
The trial that is about to begin is neither the first or the second time that is being brought before a court. Actually, this is the third time. The first time, McCulloch went to Maryland's local court, and the second time, McCulloch appealed to Maryland's Court of Appeals. Both times were very unsuccessful, and McCulloch ultimately was fined $2,500 for violating Maryland's tax statute. Here's footage from the past two trials.
Excuse me, can you leave? I'm trying to study.
You again? Oh my!
I'm trying to study.
Get out!
I'm trying to study for APUSH reading check.
Your Honor, if I may,
Thou shalt not speak! The evidence has been clearly shown. The court rules in favor of the prosecution.
That's right, take this out.
we'll see about this. I'll see you in the Maryland Court of Appeals. Your Honor, here's my evidence.
The court rules in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant here is charged with violating the Maryland tax statute on unchartered banks.
That's yet another L, Webster. It's okay, you can get him one time. Nice try. Don't worry, you can win the next one.
Welcome back. Stay tuned in, folks. The Supreme Court case McCulloch vs. Maryland is about to take off. This is sure to be one for the history books. You again?
Oh.
That's it. You're coming with me.
I'm going back home.
Come back.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of the court. Today we are gathered here for the case of McCulloch versus Maryland. Prosecution, you may begin your case.
I'm here on behalf of Maryland, the great state of Maryland. Please deliberate this case fairly, because it will have future consequences in other court cases, as well as on the Constitution itself. This case is essential to the United States as a whole. We must stop the federal government from growing tyrannically, and we must retain the powers that was granted to us as a part of the Constitution.
Defense, you may begin your case.
Thank you, Your Honor. My client, McCulloch, appears before you today as an innocent man. He was merely doing his job resisting the enforcement of an unconstitutional tax set by the state of Maryland. He represents the federal government's interest in creating a stronger union.
What? That is preposterous. How can you say this? The National Bank is within the sovereign territory of Maryland, so we have the right to tax it. The Constitution states that the state of Maryland is able to tax any business within its borders, even if it's of that of the federal government. So your point is absolutely wrong.
Your Honor, the defense requests a 5-minute recess.
Your 5-minute recess is granted. The court is adjourned. You may continue your case.
Thank you, Your Honor. Maryland state government's taxation policy is obstructing the operations of the federal government, as well as negatively affecting all the citizens of the United States. If the court is to rule in favor of Maryland, It will set a dangerous precedent in the future in which state governments will have nearly unlimited power to tax any institution in which they so desire.
That's wrong! That is not correct. Well, if you want to talk like that, then please show me where in the Constitution that you have the national government has the ability to create the national bank at all. That is unconstitutional at its core.
In Article 1, Section 8 of the United States Constitution, otherwise known as the Elastic Clause, Congress possesses the power to make any laws which are necessary and proper to the function of the federal government. As such, the creation of the Second National Bank of the United States is indeed an implied power of the federal government and is constitutional by definition.
No, you can't listen to him, Your Honor. By ruling in favor of him, you're destroying the balance of power that currently exists between the states and the federal government. If the federal government can tax state banks, why can't the state government tax federal banks? Then, if you rule in favor of him, our country would dissolve into anarchy.
Thank you. Your evidence has been clearly presented. The verdict will be given shortly. McCulloch, please approach the stand and then deliver your verdict. In a unanimous decision, the Supreme Court has ruled in favor of McCulloch. The Supreme Court allows for Congress to create all laws necessary and proper for it to obtain its goals. The institution of the National Bank is therefore justified, as it promotes the interstate commerce duties of the national government provided in the Constitution. In terms of the Maryland tax on unchartered banks, the tax is unconstitutional. The highest power and the supreme power in the United States is that of the federal power. It is the best representation of our people. And so when a state power enforces a state tax and one that undermines the federal power, it is therefore unconstitutional.
Let's go! I was right. The state of Maryland can't tax the national bank just because they suck at what they do.
It's an outrageous decision.